Welcome back to another episode of Drink Tales. And today is part 2 of our Vegas adventure. Now, I know what you're saying, but you're not in Vegas. You're clearly back at the table that you usually are in.
Yeah, because time makes fools of them.
Yeah. We're back, but we're still going to talk about Vegas some more.
Because there was a lot of things that we did not finish telling you guys. Like, we literally stopped at, I believe, the tipsy robot.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't even get into what happened that night.
Exactly.
The next days after that.
And speaking of the tipsy robot, got a little merchandise from them while we were there. So apparently when you go to the tipsy robot, you can either buy the drinks that the robots make, or if you want to get 2 drinks for, I guess you would say, a lesser price, you can buy these flask sets. And
I think it's like, I want to say like a few dollars more if you buy this, and then you get 2 drinks free.
Right. And so we did that. I just bought an individual flask because I wanted a flask. Doesn't mean I'm gonna go out being an alcoholic or anything, but you never know when you gotta hide something.
Yeah.
You never know when you need that escape plan. But we thought they were great gifts, so to speak.
Something to remember that trip by, and for anybody that's going there, like, I made a comment in the video about how the drinks weren't bad and everything like that, and I was telling the truth. Like, it was a decently made drink for what they offer.
I mean, there were shots fired. There were real bartenders in casinos making weaker and shittier drinks.
They were.
So essentially, a robot was doing their job better.
They definitely were. That's something that I will admit.
But we're not here to talk about the bad drinks we had. We're here to talk about the great drinks we had. So later that night, we found a speakeasy. Do we want to tell the speakeasy first?
Wasn't that?
That was the next thing, right?
Yeah, that's what happened.
So later that night, we found the speakeasy. Actually, we researched the speakeasy before we went to it. So it wasn't like we were stumbling around and stumbled upon it. We did our research first. So we went to a speakeasy called the Laundry Room. It's not on the Vegas Strip. It's in downtown. And it was amazing. That's the best. It was really amazing.
And usually in this part of the video we would like put up footage and stuff like that, but they have, and this goes for a lot of these types of places. They have a strict no camera, no phones or anything like that rule.
As a matter of fact, we can't even tell you how we got in there, just because of the fact that it was so secretive.
Exactly.
All we can tell you is do your research,
make reservations, and then do your research on how to get in there.
Yeah, just look up the Laundry Room, make reservations, and just because you made those reservations doesn't mean they're going to give you the location.
Exactly.
Like, you better go into detective mode and talk to the right people. That's all we can tell you. But when we got in there, it was an experience to get in, and when we got in there, we talked to the bartender and we talked to our attendant. We had great conversations with these guys, and basically their whole jibe is the speakeasy was specifically made to be like an actual speakeasy from back in the day. So you can't go up in there and be loud talking with your friends or anything like that. If you're gonna talk, you gotta talk low. Like, it's in an area that you would not expect.
Exactly.
And I'll tell you this, we had to wait a little bit before we got in there, and that's because there were other people in there. The speakeasy is actually quite small. Well, if you count the other groups that were in there, plus the bartender and the attendant, there were 10 people that could fit in.
Right.
Fit in there. So, you know, if you're making, you're not going to be allowed to make reservations for like you and 30 of your crew. When we made reservations, it said at max you can make reservations for 4.
Now, I will say this, and this is me, and I could be wrong, so don't take my word for gospel. I'm pretty sure that if the money talks, then they would close that speakeasy down for like private events and stuff like that. And I say that for a specific reason, and we'll get to that in a minute.
That's probably true. But we get into the speakeasy, and they give you complimentary popcorn, which was amazing. It was like caramel, cheddar, and like a jalapeno flavor. It was delicious, and they they keep it coming for as long as you want. And then we ordered 3 drinks. The first 2 drinks we each ordered were drinks off of their menu, and their menu is curated so that their menu, the drinks that they on the menu,
they divide the menu in different sections.
Exactly.
So like you have your modern drinks. I'll put it like this: it was very similar to Herbs and Rye, except the menu, while it was reduced, they still took the time to like order the drinks in specific sections and stuff like that. Like you had your modern, you had whatever section they had and whatnot, and then they had sections that were devoted to their drinks that they made themselves.
And needless to say, the drinks that we had were, first of all, we sat at the bar because we wanted to see, one, they sat us there, which was great for us because we wanted to see the drinks being made. And our bartender, I believe his name was Alexander. Was that his name? I believe his name was Alexander.
If not, we're sorry if we misnamed you.
He was an artist, and you could tell that he was devoted to his craft.
Exactly.
So much so. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like, you see an individual like that when he's making your drink and whatnot, and you think about all the other times that you've gone to a bar and had drinks and stuff like that, and this isn't to rag on any other restaurant that doesn't put any type of flair or anything like that into the way they make drinks, or don't even make the same type of drinks that Alexander made at this speakeasy. But like it hit different. Yeah. Like the experience hits different than, just going to any other bar.
So much so that one of the other caveats of the speakeasy as well is that they didn't use a lot. They didn't use a lot of modern liquor, and that was on purpose. So they only used liquor according to the time, and they told us this, like, you weren't gonna get anything like a White Claw or something like that. Like they were strictly sticking to the alcohol of the time.
And as a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure if you went up in there and asked for a White Claw, they would firmly but kindly ask you.
That is true. But our third drinks that we had were a treat. Now, there's something that they do there is your bartender, in our case Alexander, will make a drink specifically based off of any kind of taste that you may have. So you can throw out some flavors to him, and you don't have to make them connect in any kind of way. You don't have to try to curate, and you definitely don't need to bring out specific alcohols or anything like that. Just name some flavors and name some flavors, scents, anything like that off the book, and he will curate a drink based around what you name. So like you can name barbecue sauce and leather, and he will make a drink based off of that.
Exactly.
And I promise you it'll be delicious.
Now, I had a drink there, and I think this is one of my new favorite drinks. It's called the Nosferatu. And for the life of me, I can't remember what's in it now. I would have to pull up the menu, but
we don't have the menu anymore.
Exactly. Be that as it may, it was a very good drink.
The drink he made for me that was purely off the rip, I gave him the flavors I gave him. I told him citrus flavors. I told him crab legs, pizza, butter pecan ice cream. He took that, he rolled with it. He made a drink, and guys, I swear to you, you're gonna think this is messed up, but it was actually delicious.
Yeah.
It tastes like a creamy crab leg. Like yeah, that's what it tastes like, a creamy crab leg. Like if it wasn't, if I hadn't seen him not put Old Bay in this cocktail, I would have sworn he put Old Bay in the cocktail. And we were talking, and he was saying how, yeah, like the reason he doesn't want you to connect flavors and stuff is because whether you realize it or not, things that you may like, flavors and scents that you may like, they're all connected in minute ways.
Yeah.
Like when I brought up the pizza, he said, you know, that works because there's like spices and peppers and pizza and stuff like that. When I brought up the crab legs, he brought up Old Bay and things of that nature, because there are things that mixologists and a bartender have in their arsenal that they can use to reproduce those flavors.
Exactly.
Or something close to it.
And it also goes back to, I know when I'm on here trying to make up drinks for when we do our liquor reviews, and then I try to make a drink that doesn't exist or hasn't been discovered yet. A tool that I like to use is a flavor chart, like that that allows you to pair different flavors. But this mostly works with fruits and spices and I want to say herbs and stuff like that.
But that was our trip to that speakeasy. Remember, guys, it's called the Laundry Room. Just look it up, and that's all we're gonna say. That's all we can say.
Yeah, you guys have the experience. Part of the experience is finding it.
Exactly.
And then you go in there and the bartender does his thing, and watching him do it is part of the experience.
Exactly. So then there was Saturday night, I believe.
Saturday night was a thing that happened.
Yeah. So we went to a buffet. Oh my God, what was the buffet called?
It began with a B.
The Bacchanal.
Yeah.
We went to a buffet called the Bacchanal.
And we'll put that down here so that you know what the word looks like.
And basically it was like 6 or 7 different restaurants in one.
It was restaurant the restaurant.
Yes.
Restaurants the restaurant.
And you basically go in and you can basically get food from all around the world. Vietnamese, Chinese food,
Mexican food.
You can get charcuterie, you can get seafood, you can get barbecue.
The seafood I had to be the most popular because I know almost every plate I saw had crab legs on there.
And do you know why? Because if you walked over there to the seafood section, there's a guy behind the counter and he's literally holding a handful of crab legs and just holding them out,
and then he just dumps them on your plate,
and then you gotta get out and move on to the next thing. He's literally got a handful of just gripping a handful of crab legs, and he's just dumping them on plates as you go by. I know that sounds kind of gauche, but trust me, it's more elegant than I'm making it sound.
Exactly.
This food was delicious.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where it was sad that I could not eat anymore.
Yeah, I know the one thing, this stood out to you the most because you couldn't stop, talking about it when we were at the table, but the roasted bone marrow is what
they had roasted bone marrow. Now, I had always thought bone marrow would probably be gross, but I had some and it was pretty good. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying I'm not gonna eat a whole bowl of bone marrow.
Yeah.
Now that would be gross.
Yeah.
but the little bit of bone marrow you get, it was good. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed it. That was like my new experience because I never had straight up bone marrow before.
And the one that stood out to me, because there was a lot of things that we ate, and I could name the lamb and the duck.
The duck quesadillas?
Yeah, the duck quesadillas. But that's like stuff, no. The thing that stood out to me the most, and I know this is going to sound weird, but they were these mussels that were cooked in ginger and garlic.
Yeah, the ginger garlic mussels.
Mm-hmm.
And those were good.
And they stuck out to me because of the fact that after you eat them, because they're in a sauce, that sauce gets over your plate and that flavor lingers. Mm-hmm. And I really enjoy that flavor.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So after the restaurant, we went to the Skyfall Lounge. Mm-hmm. And we looked up the Skyfall Lounge because we were looking for places to drink. Mm-hmm. And in the information that we looked up, they said that the Skyfall Lounge was slightly based off of the James Bond movie.
And I was trying to figure out where they were getting this from, and then I remember near the beginning of the movie, I believe it's 30 to 40 minutes in, the scene where he goes to that building and he hangs onto the elevator and goes all the way up. And it took me a while to remember because I'm how? I'm trying to figure out, because Skyfall was a ranch. Nothing about this says ranch.
Yeah, but they were specifically basing it off of that scene. Mm-hmm. And the reason why is because the Skyfall Lounge is located in the I can't remember the name of the hotel.
It's attached. I know you can get to it by going the Luxor.
Yeah,
but not
Caesar's Palace.
Mandalay Bay.
Okay, it is in the Mandalay Bay Hotel, and you go 64 floors up, mm-hmm. and when you get, and it's basically the top of the hotel. When you get to the mm-hmm. top, there's glass that you can look out everywhere, and it's basically a lounge and bar, mm-hmm. and there's a DJ playing, and they're making drinks. We had a great time there.
Yeah,
just trying out the different drinks that they made. Trying out. We had champagne as well because we went there because another reason we went there too is we were celebrating a special event. And it was nice. It was very nice. If you really want that posh experience, that's the place to go.
Exactly.
Make a reservation. There's no super secret thing. Just make a reservation. Go online or call them up and make a reservation before you go, and you'll have yourself a nice chill time. It's the perfect place to go to at the end of the night.
Exactly.
So I wouldn't go at 4 in the afternoon. But if you're having
open at 4,
yeah, I'm just throwing out a random number.
Yeah.
But if you're having a night out on the town, it's the perfect place to go at the end of the night, mm-hmm. especially if you're a visitor. Mm-hmm. And with that said and done, that's every major thing.
Now, I know during the day before we went to the Bacchanal and the Skyfall Lounge and stuff like that, I know we saw a lot of interesting things like the chandelier.
Yeah.
The chandelier. And now we didn't get to go in and everything like that, but we went into the building. It was the Cosmopolitan that stuff is.
Yeah.
We went to the Cosmopolitan and looked around. We saw the chandelier, and there are 2 speakeasies in there. We didn't get to go into them. The first one was the Barbershop Speakeasy, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they were having a private event, so we wouldn't have been able to go in there anyway. And by the time that would have been done, we were due to be at the restaurant for dinner,
right?
The buffet for dinner. And the other one we didn't get to find.
Yeah, we didn't have enough time to look around for it, but it was the Ghost Donkey. Like I know how to find it, but we just didn't have enough time.
Right.
There was and that's another thing too. Like we went to Vegas with like 30 things that we wanted to do, and we only got to do like 15.
And we did other minor things like so another thing I forgot that we didn't get to do was the s'mores.
Yeah. We were supposed to buy the s'mores. There was a shop that had s'mores that we could buy. I completely forgot about getting them, and that makes me sad. So that's 16 things we didn't get to do.
Yeah, 17 if you count the ice bar.
Yeah, because the ice bar was closed at the time for maintenance.
But one thing we did get to see, and it's not food or drink related or anything like that, but I just thought it was really interesting was it was like a, I want to say the Flamingo.
Oh yeah, the Flamingo. It was like like it was like
an aviary.
Yeah,
I want to say
aviary,
but not really an aviary. But I mean, like there were flamingos and ducks in there and whatnot,
and that was pretty neat. I don't remember ever seeing a flamingo in person. I've probably seen it at a zoo before, but this was just flamingos and ducks and stuff. Like that. So and that was on the Strip. So that was pretty cool as well.
Yeah, I know because a lot of things I pointed that out because of the fact that it was on the Strip, and it's one of those things where unless you know what you're looking for, or unless unless you really explore, you're not gonna be able to find it, because most of the Strip is like, as our Uber drivers would describe it, tourist trappy type deals, because it's like casino, bar.
So you really got to dig into places.
Exactly.
You really got to go into nooks and crannies to find a lot of great stuff. Or a lot of obscure stuff.
Exactly.
That's great. But with that said, that'll do it for this episode of Drink Tales. Be sure to like and subscribe. Hit that bell so that you're notified of all content coming to the channel. Also check us out on Instagram, check us out on Twitter, and check us out on Facebook.
Drinks, food, various other things that you can put in your mouth and they taste good. If you know about them, especially if it's something that maybe very few people know about and need some love, tell us about it. Let us know about it. Maybe you can send it to us. Hit us up in our DM.
That also goes for locations. We just got back from Vegas and we had a good time. Where should we go next?
Exactly.
I mean, we know where we're going next probably, but like maybe you can influence that decision. Where do we need to go next?
Yeah, what do we need to add on our annual yearly vacation?
Exactly. Like like I said before, let us know what it is and we'll go there and we'll be the judge of whether it's as amazing as you think it is. It better be amazing. But that'll do it for this episode of Drink Tales, and until next time, everybody, peace.